All right, let's find out what's going on with the Springfield business community and who has their eye on all of that is the Springfield Business Journal. And the publisher, Michelle Ownbey, joins us now here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Michelle, thanks for taking time each and every Wednesday to give us an idea of what's going on in and around the Springfield business community. One thing that I saw over the weekend that kind of, saddened me was Lake Point Grill no longer going to be around here soon. What's going on there? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Greg. Well, you've got till September 24th, so still a few more weeks to get your fix. But yes, after 15 years, Lake Point Grill is going to be closing their doors, and as you said, a lot of people were sad to hear that. But co-owners Chris Hankin and Vic Lanzotti are no strangers to the restaurant industry, and they've still got plenty to keep them busy. They also own Public House 29 in Rochester, and of course also Pies to Limit, the location over there on MacArthur. And Chris told me it was strictly a business decision. Again, back during COVID, they used to have two Pies to Limit locations and had to kind of right-size that during COVID and close the Parkway Point one. So, the restaurant industry is just constantly evolving, and unfortunately, it's a particularly tough time right now for small businesses, especially those restaurants. So I'm sure it was a strategic decision on their part.
Yeah, and a loss for the community there on that side of town off of Toronto Road, where, it was not just people who lived in that area, it was people who lived south of Springfield. I know myself living south of Springfield, that was a great way to bounce up into town, go get a nice dining experience with delicious food, and sad to see that. Definitely going to have to get them back in front of us here soon with delicious meals on the plate. So looking forward to enjoying that one last time before they ultimately depart. We have a bit of a change here with Springfield Clinic. They're bringing in a new name. Tell us about this.
Yes, we actually have several personnel changes. Seems like, around the first of the year, there's always a lot of people that change jobs, and for whatever reason, there's been kind of an influx of that over the last week or so as well. Zach DiNardo, he had been one of the partners out at the law firm of Sorling Northrop for quite a few years, I think almost 20 years. He has now joined Springfield Clinic as their managing corporate counsel. Springfield Clinic, of course, is a lot larger than just Springfield, so that's a pretty significant operation, and they've got a lot going on and a full-time legal staff as well. So he is now with them. And then Sarah Beth Ayers, she begins a new job September 1, tomorrow, with a company called Group Sense. She's pretty well known in the community, most recently as the acting director of Innovate Springfield. She's been in the director position for a little over a year since Katie Davison's departure. And, of course, Innovate Springfield has a lot going on right now. That was recently announced that University of Illinois is going to be purchasing that Illinois Sheriff's Association building downtown at 401 East Washington. That's going to become what they're calling the UIS Innovation Center, sort of a hub for technology, business policy, workforce development, and they're going to house a number of other organizations, including Innovate Springfield. So Sarah Beth says that, she's a UIS alumni and excited to see the changes ahead, but she's decided to take a different path for the time being and is joining a company called Group Sense, which is based out of Virginia, but she will be able to work remotely from home. So the good news is she's sticking around Springfield because she's involved in quite a few community organizations and activities, and we're glad to be able to keep her around.
Few more moments here with Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, here with Springfield's Morning News. Something else to announce here that the Springfield Business Journal has their eyes on. What's going on with LRS, a big name here in Springfield?
Yes, well, and not just a big name in Springfield, but worldwide. A lot of folks don't necessarily realize how huge LRS is. They are, of course, headquartered here in Springfield, but do business globally. And they have announced that Ryan Levi has been named CEO and Greg Matthews has been named the Chief Operating Officer. Dick Levi has assumed the position of Chairman of the Board. And they say that these leadership changes have been in the works for quite some time, but Dick Levi's son Ryan has officially taken over as CEO. So while Dick will continue to be involved through his chairman of the board role, it'll be in a little bit different capacity going forward. Michelle
Ownbey, obviously, we're just touching on some of the things happening in and around the Springfield business community, but if people want to get a much deeper dive, they need to get their hands on the Springfield Business Journal. How can they get their hands on that?
Definitely sign up for Biz Bites. That's our weekly newsletter, and it's free of charge. You can go to springfieldbusinessjournal.com to get on that list. And, of course, you can also sign up for the full print edition and get that delivered straight to your home or office.
Greatly appreciate your time as we do connect each and every Wednesday, and we'll talk next week.
Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.